this morning we are planting corn, and you're probably thinking, Robert, I thought you said we was done planting corn. We was, but last day of corn planting, our buddy called, said that someone had called them looking for someone to rent their farm. Said the farmer that had been tending their ground kind of told them they wasn't going to work it. The bad thing about it is we was over there, we could have planted it while we was over there. So now we're having to come back to Dyer and go back over to the lake. But, I guess, they was needing somebody pretty bad, so we thought we'd help them out. Mapped it out, 38 acres, kind of cut up and all, but, Dylan told me, he said, I'll plant the good parts, but I'm not planting all them little necks because only thing is the deer's gonna eat it up. So them little necks and all, we're gonna bush hog them. So this morning I'm heading over to Circle S Farm Supply, gonna pick us up some in-furrow, some liquid fertilizer. We're gonna be trying the old Matt Griggs approach. We're gonna be planting into some pretty heavy ryegrass and some pretty heavy cover. We didn't get it burnt down because we didn't know we was going to be working it. So we're going to plant it today and then try to get it sprayed today too as well. Get all that stuff dying. The sprayer's already over there. We spent all day yesterday spraying corn, which was an eventful day, which we didn't get none of that on film, which is probably a good thing, because I've been having a property line dispute with my neighbor. She's got stakes and she keeps wanting to stake. She keeps saying that I'm over on her, and I'm not. So I got a line surveyor who's supposed to be coming out and finding the exact where the line is, so we can settle this dispute. And then yesterday I ran the water truck out of fuel. It showed it had a quarter of a tank, and I believed it, which is apparently a quarter is empty. So I ran it out of fuel. But Mama, she was home yesterday because they was out of school for the Strawberry Festival, and she come and brought us some fuel, and we was able to get it started. So thank you, Mom. She's come in really handy the last couple of days, or this spring to say the least. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. We got all of our beans sprayed Tuesday. Yeah, we kind of got a little rough with them. We're trying the old Kip Colors method. We did that unintentionally, but yeah, we got a little rough with them, but at least you can see them now. They's getting pretty woolly, all this wet weather, but yeah, they'll come out of it. Hopefully we're creating nodes and shortening them nodes and making them a branch. So that's what we was going for. And plus we're going to kill them weeds. Your May has just turned to complete crap. Cloudy days, wet, cool. It hasn't been a very good May. And of course it rained on the 1st, so you know what they say, it rained on the 1st, 15 days of rain. So we've had a pretty rough May so far, but we've been working through the rain showers. The corn that we planted on the 29th, the day before the rain, I don't know, we haven't went and looked at it yet. I got a feeling some of them low laying areas may be a replant, so we're just trying to get what we got up and sprayed, and then we'll go over there and look to see if we need to go over there and replant anything.
What a mess.
That ain't as bad as I thought it.
Well, it ain't thick. That's the one thing that's going
on. At least you can still see their dirt.
But, this is a late season pickup, and we're gonna have some more corn.
Get out of the way.
Bob, the seed trench ain't crumbling. We know this. We know this ain't gonna be. We know this ain't gonna be no 300 bushel ground. So. This is 400 bushel ground. There he is. Where did he go?
Picket stand. Picket stand.
Look there, no skips, no doubles. Finger pickup. No, we need a fancy title for an economical planter that does a good job, that you don't have 6 figures invested in.
Huh.
What would we call it?
We'll just call it a maximum.
That's right. Best planter ever made right there.
The original Maximurge.
That's right.
The others are just copies. Them amber waves of grain. We are going to put every farming practice to the test because we have done deep tillage and seedbed preparation with the do-all. We have done minimum tillage with just one pass of the do-all. We have done no-till, and now we are doing green cover cropping. So we are putting every farming practice to the test. We are not closing ourselves in on a box. We are trying it all this year. It was unintentional, but we are trying it. But this is just one of the fields that we picked up. It's 38 acres, and it comes a long way back up in here. But we done got 5 or 6 acres way back up in there planted, and he's back here in the farthest back field. I don't know how many acres is back here, but green cover cropping it. He's dropping it about 24,000. This ground's pretty thin, pretty rolling, and as for late as it is, we're just not pushing, not gonna push it, and our in-furrow system is not working. We either have a bad flow meter, or the cable going to our flow meter is bad because the microtrack keeps saying no flow, but there is flow when you put it in manual mode. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna come over here, suck what's on the planter off and what's in the trailer. Whenever this corn gets up, V5 or 6, we're going to come over here and just foliar feed it. Just make a separate application. That way we can get our P and K and zinc and the humic, and they mixed us some sugar in there. So that's the plan for right now. We need to spray it, but the wind, you can see it there, that it's just windy. You can see them trees are moving there. Maybe we can get it sprayed off this afternoon. Of all the things that we thought would drag up, we never thought our drag chains would drag up. And they're not making a mess, they're just catching it. But as you can see, that planter is rolling it down. Them road cleaners are rolling it out of the way. Dylan said he wished he went and borrowed Matt's crimper. What we really need is Daddy out here with his new hauling hay bind and us baling all this stuff up. I will say though, that is kind of cool seeing that green tractor rolling through that green cover crop. It is pretty cool to see. And all you can see is just them yellow hoppers going through there. This is also going to be a good test for some of our hybrids that we have. All we had left was our hybrids for our, better ground, high yielding ground. And, this is, I wouldn't say this is going to be one of our highest yielding fields. So it's going to see what them hybrids are really, what they can really do. But I have pretty good confidence in this LG hybrid. We seen it on a pretty tough hill last year and it made really good corn. But it was planted, a good month earlier. But it ought to be a good test to see what them, how them big yielding hybrids do on tough acres. Lots of testing going on this year. Unintentional testing, but yeah, we're trying it all. Yeah, you can see how that wind's just whipping that grass. There ain't no way we can spray today. But this is kind of the cover cropping I like. You still got some cover, but you can still see some dirt. I don't like that big thick mat stuff. It's thin enough that your road cleaners can part it and get to some dirt. And still, you're still getting some good biomass and cover out there too. Because you can see right here where the tractor wheel run over. It's laying it and you got a good mat there. Ain't no telling how many dollars that tractor and that planter have made us. That is a good team right there. Dylan's like, I want to go to a bigger planter, but he's like, I'm afraid whatever we get won't be as good as that one. And he's probably right.
Saturday afternoon. This is a little different view than you normally see of us. No, we're not bush hogging. We're cutting hay. We are planting corn. And it may be a recipe for disaster, but we are planting this corn green, as they call it. And we're going to come in here and burn down behind the planter. And when I get turned around here, I will explain my reasoning. The previous guy that was working it called the landlord and gave it up. Anyways, I got the phone call and they asked if I would be interested in working it. And being that we were done planting, we had extra seed corn sitting at the shop. I said, why not? I've been throwing my marker out just in case I lose signal in here between all these trees. They're not very big fields, but they're pretty nice fields. They lay down here beside this creek. There's a creek right over there. And they lay down beside that creek there. But here's what we got. Old cattle farm. There's about 12 acres there. 7 or 8 there. About 8, 4, 5. Just a bunch of little 5-acre fields. Previous guy was working all these little necks and stuff, and I just told him, like, look, from my experience, them necks aren't going to make nothing, and it was in part of the deal that I would come and bush hog all that in season. When I rented this, I just sat down with them and like, look, we got a mess. We're gonna have to do something this first year. Y'all gonna have to help me out. I said, cause we're done late in the year. This farm had beans on it multiple times. It's been beans behind beans behind beans, so it needed to be rotated. Normally this thinner ground like this, I don't like planting it this late in the year. I have. Today is May the 10th. Like, y'all gonna have to help me out this first year. So we worked out a deal for working it this first year where I can afford to take a chance on it. And then we're gonna sit down, we're gonna see what the corn makes, and then we're gonna sit down this winter and we're gonna renegotiate and, you know, just kind of see how everything goes, and we're gonna sit down and talk to them. But I mean, it's planting pretty. It's not very thick. I think that's one thing that is helping us. Started to call old Matt Griggs and see if I couldn't borrow his roller crimper there. Cause it don't look like, it looks like once it rolls, the tires roll over it, it's staying rolled down. It ain't trying to pop back up. But hopefully, he says we like 20 minutes here. Hopefully it's Saturday. Knock on wood, maybe we can quit early today. Probably just jinxed myself, but hopefully we're gonna be able to quit early today. But that's what's going on. I think Robert's done filmed a little bit and telling y'all some about it. So we're here on the tail end of planting, and we're trying to take that bag of decaf and even them up. We're trying not to end up with a lot of seed left in the planter. I think we like about 2 acres. We got this bag of decaf, 6835, we cleaned out. So we're gonna use it to even them up. Hopefully we're not gonna have to open another bag of seed. It's gonna be iffy. You'd be surprised, them meterfuls will plant about 1/4 of an acre. Or 8 meters full will plant 1/4 of an acre. I know that from when I used to plant sweet corn. Alright, here we go again.
Get y'all the last few shots of what will hopefully be the last of corn plant in 2025. Doing the old contour planting. Strapping her up. I seen that laying there and I was thinking, oh crap, that's a big snake. But all it is I think it's just a piece of paper. I thought it was a big snake. About messed myself. But he likes one little sliver here. And that will hopefully be the end of 2025 corn. All right. Let's go home and cook some fish.